Welcome to the Future of Triple E channel. I am Siddharthan. You can download this PPT and all my other PPTs from the link given in the description of the videos. In this video, let's see the per phase equivalent circuit and phasor diagram of synchronous motor. Before that, let's see some of the basics of synchronous motor. Actually, synchronous motor is a doubly excited motor because stator windings are connected to the AC supply and rotor field winding is connected separately to the DC excitation current. Stator terminal voltage is Vt and creates current I. This current I produces flux phi A in the stator armature winding. Similarly, rotor field current If produces flux phi F. It is to be noted that some part of flux phi A links with stator winding and not with rotor field winding, and those flux are called armature leakage flux phi L. Major part of flux phi A is established in air gap and links with rotor field winding. Those flux are called armature reaction flux phi AR. So the resultant air gap flux phi R is equal to phi F plus phi AR. These fluxes are alternating flux which will cut the stationary stator windings and induces voltage ER, EF, EAR due to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Okay, with that understanding, now let's draw the per phase equivalent circuit of synchronous motor. Vt is the terminal voltage and I is the stator current. Rs is the stator winding effective resistance, which is approximately equal to 1.6 times the DC resistance of the stator winding. This includes the effect of operating temperature and the skin effect caused by the AC current through the armature winding. XL is the leakage reactance which accounts for armature leakage flux phi L. XAR is the reactance of armature reaction or magnetizing reactance which accounts for armature reaction flux phi AR. And EF is the EMF induced in the stator winding due to the rotor field flux phi F. If we write the KVL equation for the circuit, then Vt is equal to I into Rs plus I into JXL plus I into JXAR plus EF, where I into JXAR plus EF is equal to ER and I into JXL plus I into JXAR plus EF is equal to EA. Usually, XL plus XAR, which will be represented as XS, where XS is called synchronous reactance. This synchronous reactance can be determined by performing two tests, namely open circuit test and short circuit test. Okay, now with the equation Vt is equal to I into Rs plus I into JXL plus I into JXAR plus EF, let's draw the phasor diagram. Before that, let's modify the equation as EF is equal to Vt minus IRS minus IJXS, where XS is equal to XL plus XAR. Let's take the terminal voltage Vt as reference. The current I lags the voltage by an angle phi. It is due to the fact that reactance XS is greater than resistance Rs. Minus I will be drawn 180 degree opposite to I. Then voltage drop minus IRS is added to terminal voltage Vt and it should be parallel to minus I. Minus IXS is added to minus IRS and it leads the current minus I by 90 degree. Finally, the addition of plus Vt minus IRS minus IXS is equal to EF. The angle between Vt and EF is del, known as power angle or torque angle or load angle, plays an important role in power transfer and in the stability of synchronous motor operation. We will discuss this in later video. At this point, I need to remind that the resultant air gap flux in synchronous motor is due to both stator AC current and rotor DC field current. That's why synchronous motor is doubly excited motor. Moreover, it is to be noted that lagging reactive current is only required to establish the resultant flux. From the above statement, we can come to the conclusion that if rotor field excitation and hence EF is less, then lagging current will be drawn from the AC supply. If rotor field excitation is necessary enough, then we don't need lagging current from the stator, and hence unity current will be drawn from the stator AC supply. Similarly, if rotor field excitation is high, then leading current will be drawn from the stator AC supply to oppose magnetization by the rotor field current. So if a synchronous motor is not loaded and if rotor field current is changed, it will behave as a variable inductor and creates lagging power factor, or variable capacitor and creates leading power factor. Mostly it will be used in power transmission system to regulate the line voltage. So synchronous motor with no load is called a synchronous condenser. Okay, let's see this power factor control of synchronous motor in detail by analyzing the operation at constant power variable excitation. Let's take the same equation, EF is equal to Vt minus IRs minus IJXS. In this equation, usually Rs will be lesser when compared to Xs. So it can be neglected and equation becomes EF is equal to Vt minus I into Jxs. Since we are analyzing for constant power, the power equation for a three-phase machine is given by P is equal to 3 into Vt into I into cos phi, where cos phi is the power factor. So for constant power, I cos phi should be constant. The power equation for synchronous motor can also be written as P is equal to 3 into Vt into EF divided by Xs into sin del. Here, for constant power, EF sin del should be constant. If we draw the same phasor diagram excluding IRs voltage drop, then it will be as shown here. Note that in this phasor diagram, I have denoted current I, flux phi, EMF EF, load angle del with suffix 1. This vertical line and horizontal line ensures I cos phi and E sin del as constant. Now, if we increases EF from EF1 to EF2, where EF2 is approximately equal to Vt or slightly greater than Vt, by increasing the rotor field excitation, then current I2 adjusts in such a manner that the motor will operate at unity power factor. Similarly, if we increases EF further, where EF is greater than terminal voltage Vt, then current I3 adjusts in such a manner that the motor will operate at leading power factor. It is to be noted that even at constant load, that is load angle del is equal to constant, and variable excitation, the power factor control can be achieved in synchronous motor. So if EF is less than Vt, then it's called under excitation, where power factor will be lagging. If EF is approximately equal to Vt or slightly greater than Vt, then it's called critical excitation, where power factor will be unity. And if EF is greater than Vt, then it's called over excitation, where power factor will be leading. If we draw the stator current alone, then it will be lagging with respect to Vt at under excitation, and at the same time, if we draw the graph between field current IF versus stator current I and field current IF versus power factor cos phi at under excitation, that is at low value of field current, we can see that the magnitude of current I is high, but the power factor cos phi is lagging and low, that is less than 1. Now at critical excitation, that is at somewhere E is equal to V, the magnitude of current I is low when compared to under excitation, but the power factor cos phi is equal to 1. Similarly, at over excitation, that is at a high value of field current, the magnitude of stator current is again high, but the power factor cos phi is leading and low, that is less than 1. If we join the points, we will get the shape similar to the English alphabet V and inverted V. That's why we will call this graph as V curve and inverted V curve. Okay, in the next video, let's see the speed torque characteristics and control of synchronous motor. You can download this PPT and PDF from the link given in the description. If this video helps you, then please like, share and subscribe the channel. Have a smile and have a good day.